What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to Sportskeeda MMA news. Kevin Holland is getting closer and closer to becoming a full-time superhero. Adriano Moraes claims he can beat UFC champions Aljamain and Deiveson Figueiredo. UFC turns its spotlight on Asia with an exciting 8-man tournament in place. Up-and-comer Sean Brady says he's ready to take on tougher assignments. And Israel Adesanya loses his championship belt. But it's not what you think. All this and more on today's edition of Sportskeeda MMA News. If you see any of your favorite fighters mentioned in today's video, make sure to blast that like button. Not all heroes wear capes. Some of them wear a Venom-branded fight trunks with a pair of 4-ounce gloves. That's right, Kevin Holland is back to his heroic best. This time, the middleweight fighter revealed that he rescued a trucker who overturned a massive tractor trailer on the highway. Recounting the incident during his recent interview on the Fighter vs. Writer podcast, here's what Holland had to say.
I'm driving the Regal, you know what I mean? My old school, I'm kind of like a Batmobile. Everybody knows Batman's my favorite character. That's probably why I intervene in all these things. Driving down the road, enjoying some good old 80s and 90s music, just cruising. It's fast, but for some reason I was cruising. I look over to the right-hand side. This guy looked like he's trying to get on the freeway pretty quick. I look back straight. I look back over to the right-hand side, and he's doing this, sliding sideways. I'm like, oh, gosh. I pull the Regal over. Good thing I put the new brakes on there. Hopped out, ran over there, jumped on top. We ripped the door open, got the guy out.
This isn't the first time Holland has helped a fellow Houstonian in need. The welterweight standout helped apprehend a gunman in March and chase down an alleged carjacker this past October. This begs the question, if Kevin Holland decides to become a full-time superhero, what should his nickname be? Leave a comment down below and you might be featured in tomorrow's video. One flyweight world champion Adriano Moraes believes he's the best fighter in the world in the 125 to 135 pound range. The Brazilian, who famously handed Demetrius Johnson a rare loss in 2021, recently claimed he has what it takes to beat his UFC counterparts Deiveson Figueiredo and Aljamain. During an interview with the Schmo, here's what Moraes had to say.
Yes, both of them are really good fighters, real fighters. I think both of them would be like really good opponents to me. And one thing I can say, I train hard every single day to challenge myself, and that they would be a really good opponent. Yes, for me it's the same. My opponent is the same, just one detail front of me, and I would smash both of them.
Right now though, Moraes remains to be without an opponent. Mikinho defended his world title earlier this year with a third-round submission victory over Yuya Wakamatsu at 1x. Do you think Moraes is capable of beating Sterling and Figueiredo? More importantly, do you think he could beat Mighty Mouse a second time? The UFC will highlight its Asian talent with a new tournament that will kick off at UFC 275 in Singapore. The promotion announced 32 fighters from China, Thailand, Japan, South Korea, the Philippines, Indonesia and India who will compete for the right to sign a UFC contract in a new series dubbed Road to UFC. The opening round of the tourney will be broadcasted on UFC Fight Pass. It was described by the organizers as the most significant opportunity for Asia's top MMA prospects to make it into the big leagues. The 4 8-man brackets will be contested at flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight and lightweight. The semi-final and final matchups will take place later in the year. The winners of each bracket will be rewarded with a highly coveted UFC contract. Aside from the winners, the UFC said standout performers in both tournament and non-tournament competitions would be awarded developmental contracts. UFC 275 will be headlined by 2 title fights atop the marquee. Glover Teixeira will defend his light heavyweight crown against Yuri Prochazka in the main event, while Valentina Shevchenko eyes her 7th title defense against Talia Santos. Are you excited for this new tournament format? Undefeated prospect Sean Brady is chomping at the bit to get back into the octagon. This time though, he wants a top 10 welterweight as his next opponent. Brady mentioned the likes of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Vicente Luque, Bilal Muhammad and Jorge Masvidal as his preferred matchups. He also claimed that his fellow welterweight contenders avoid him, as he's perceived to be a difficult matchup for most. During an interview with MMA Underground, here's what the 15-0 whippersnapper had to say. I understand somebody like Wonderboy, he doesn't want to fight a grappler. I get that, but at the end of the day, this is MMA. You can't just say you want to fight a striker. If you want to do fights like that, get out of the top 10. Get out of the top 15. Let younger guys like me who are trying to build our names do our thing. You've already fought for the belt, you've done all these things. Let us go do that, you know? Brady is fresh off a dominant victory over perennial contender Michael Chiesa last November. Now the number 9 ranked UFC welterweight Brady is hoping to climb further up the rankings. Is Sean Brady the most underrated prospect in the UFC right now? While you're still here, subscribe to Sportskeeda MMA and hit that bell. Israel Adesanya admitted that he may have misplaced his undisputed UFC middleweight championship belt. In an interview with Combat TV ahead of his scheduled title defense, the last stylebender revealed that he doesn't know where his belt is. He added that the one he's been carrying around is the same title that he first won when he became interim middleweight title holder in 2019. However, the Nigerian-born Kiwi told fans not to fret as someone from his team has the belt in their possession. It's just that he doesn't exactly know who has it. He added that he doesn't need a piece of hardware to remind himself he's one of the best fighters in the UFC. This is what the middleweight kingpin has to say.
The belt, it's quite, I actually don't know where it is right now. I bet Eugene knows where it is. I'm not attached to that thing at all. I know who the I am. I've been the champ before the belt. So yeah, but it's heavy. I think it doesn't need to be that heavy, but I think they made it heavy for the emphasis. So you know you're holding something like, whoa, this is something of substance, you know? So yeah, it's a cool belt. I like it.
Adesanya will face Jared Cannonier in the main event of UFC 276 in July as he eyes his 6th successful defense of his division's title. After unifying the interim and undisputed belts in 2019, Adesanya has since defended his throne against Yoel Romero, Paulo Costa, Marvin Vettori and Robert Whittaker. How many more title defenses do you think Adesanya has in him? That about does it for Sportskeeda MMA News. Here are some of the best comments from today. Doesn't Alex hold multiple wins over Izzy in kickboxing? Adesanya just says he thinks makes him look cool. The dude is like Usman in that way. Dangerous fighter, so good, explosive, fast. I like the way Valentina, fights. If you like this video, please like, comment and share. Your comments could be featured in the next Sportskeeda MMA News video. We always deliver daily content, so make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything going on in the MMA world. For updates, quotes and exclusive interviews from all your favorite fighters, follow Sportskeeda MMA on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in.